Welcome back to Laugh Through It All. I'm your host, Tracy. Join me as I talk to Lee Jagger, sex coach from Rock the Bedroom, an episode you don't want to miss. I think so many women are afraid to ask what they want in the bedroom. And I
100%.
mean, yeah, absolutely. And I know, especially if you are in a long-term relationship, if you've never expressed what you want, then that first step in going for that is probably so difficult. And in my opinion, a lot of women also doesn't don't even have to be in long-term relationships. A lot of women don't know their own body. And
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing to
It
me
yeah.
the people at my age who have never experienced some alone time. So why do you
Yeah.
think that is?
So I have found in, gosh, working with thousands of women that so many women have something in their background, whether it's a religious upbringing or strict family household, traditional values. Um, they they've had something happen in their childhood that basically made them think that their bodies are wrong in some way, like they're dirty. There's all these negative aspects to your body, to sex, like doing the nasty, bumping uglies. There's all these negative connotations attached to private parts. And so we all want to be a good person, a good girl. We want to be virtuous. And so a good girl doesn't do nasty, dirty things. So if
You're
nasty,
so
dirty
right.
things are associated with your body, they're not gonna touch their body. Just even
Yes.
subconsciously, that's going through their heads.
And don't you
So
think that it is definitely more a generational thing too? Like I think women, younger generations don't think that way as much anymore. I do think it's my generation and older more. Am I wrong?
more so, yes, definitely. And, the women I mostly speak to, like, in my programs, my membership and stuff, they're all 45 and up,
Yes,
mostly in their 50s, 60s, and,
agree.
definitely that generation so suppressed, repressed on many levels, and that's just been reinforced in their marriage or their relationships.
Mhm.
It doesn't we especially that generation did not grow up with the idea of, "Let's talk in the bedroom. Let's talk about sex." So, communication, I think, is at the heart of everything when I was gonna say when it comes to stuff in the bedroom, but really anything.
Anything,
It's
right, sure.
if you don't have good communication in the bedroom, you're gonna have a terrible sex life. And the older generations are not used I mean, we did back in the days when, the formative years, we didn't have movies with all the sex scenes. We didn't have porn. We didn't like it was a behind closed doors kind of thing. We don't talk about that in polite company.
Right.
And so of course we didn't develop any skills about talking in the bedroom because we're just not allowed to talk about it in general.
And I think, well, if you even think back to when I was younger, when you go to rent a movie, it was just this dirty little room, that if you wanted to rent
Oh,
dirty
yeah.
movies, you had to go in the secret room and everyone knew. And, it
Oh,
was
such
so
a taboo.
bad. Like, yes, yes, yes. And so, but yeah, I think the communication is so incredibly important. And people don't know how to approach such conversations. But
Yeah.
to me,
Oh, yeah.
learning your own body first is a great first step. And I mean, what do you think about that? Like, what would you
Yeah, I
advice
mean,
would you give women?
the first thing I would tell women is understand that masturbation, self-exploration, just touching your own body is the precursor to being able to clue in your guy what
Mhm.
works for you. Because let me tell you, honey, he may be coming into the bedroom all confident, like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I know my stuff." Well,
Yes.
he knew what worked with the last girl, but that
Gosh, that's
may
so
not work
important.
for you, right?
Right.
So you gotta be able to take care of yourself and stand up for yourself and ask for what you want. And if you don't know what you want because you haven't explored to find out, oh, when I rub my clit this direction, it feels better than if I rub it this direction or whatever, so you've got to know your own body if you're going to have a decent sex life with someone else. So many I hear about this all the time in my programs. um, like women say, "Hey, can you teach my guy to be a better lover?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, let me talk to you then,
Right.
because you I can teach your guy lots of stuff, but none of that stuff might work for you. So you've got to teach your guy to be a good lover. Don't assume that
Mhm.
he's a bad lover. He like you gotta train a person how to touch you, how to love you, how to talk to you, how to do all the things. You've gotta let them know because you are unique and special and different in your own way. And so, no matter how much training he's had, um, he may not be pushing your buttons in the way
Right.
that you want them pushed because every woman's different.
Yeah, I've said that in another podcast is that that women have been like pretty much trained to fake it for so much because they don't want to express what they don't like. Oh, not or they're making the sounds as if they like it and they don't. And it's such false, the men have such
Yeah.
false confidence because what they've been doing maybe to people for years, nobody likes it. The DJ
Right.
move. I like to call it the DJ move, where they just do this at 100 miles an hour. Like, who's told you that people like that?
Right? And they've had that the positive
Yes.
reinforcement of, "Hey, I've made so many women orgasm by doing
Yes.
this." "Have you really?"
Yeah.
Like, "Have you?" And we are so good at it because 'cause we've had to do it a lot, faking
Yes.
orgasm that but I mean, I tell women, "Do not fake one more orgasm," because
No.
what you're doing when you do that is you're telling your guy, "Hey, that thing you're doing to me that
That's
is
what I
not
like.
working for me, keep
Right.
doing it. Do that again next time." Like, that's
It's
what we're saying
amazing.
to guys.
I
And then
know.
on to the next girl, if you break up with him, he's gonna go to the next girl and go, "Oh, yeah, my last girl loved this,
Yes.
did she?"
Yes.
So we've gotta, like, be the change, ladies. We've gotta just shut that down.
I agree. I agree. And I've said it's like at 51, I am over mediocre, terrible sex at this age. Why am I having selfish men, mediocre sex at this age? No.
Life is too long to have a bad sex life.
Right. Right.
Like, it's not too short, it is too long to have a bad sex life. Like, we have sex because of pleasure, like, we're the basis of sex is connection, is intimacy, is enjoyment, is pleasure, and so if we're enforcing all the behaviors that do not give us pleasure, what are we doing it for?
Right.
That just
Right.
leads to frustration, eventual resentment of your partner. Well, if he loved me, he would know.
Yeah.
Like that kind of BS mentality. You can't perpetuate it. Otherwise, you're perpetuating mediocrity in the bedroom. And
Yeah, and the longer you let that go, the harder it is to
yeah,
express it. And then,
yeah,
you've got feelings involved. It's like, oh, I don't do it for you. I used to. Why don't I anymore? So then you've got to work with that of
yeah.
how do you do it without making them feel like they've been doing it wrong all these years, even though it's your own damn fault that they've been doing it wrong all these years.
Right, and that's the trick, is how do I talk to my guy in a way that does not hurt his feelings, doesn't
Agree.
make him feel like he's been doing it wrong this whole time, he's a bad lover or whatever, you're dissatisfied with him. You don't wanna hurt
Hmm.
his ego, right? I mean, he's doing the best that he can.
Hmm.
We just gotta know that, going forward, understanding that everybody, including men in the bedroom, are doing the best that they know how with the tools that they've been given. which are crappy tools or no tools, because we can't talk about this stuff, right? And
Mhm.
so that's the first thing that I teach my ladies is let's figure out how to talk to your guy. Like, let's open up the communication. And it's actually a lot easier than most people think.
Mhm.
Um, being able to talk to your guy and tell him what you desire, what you don't desire without hurting his feelings. It's actually not that difficult once you have the words and once you understand um, what you need to say in order to make him feel accepted, appreciated. You're just giving him a roadmap. You're giving him the cheat sheets to your body. You
Mhm.
know, like, hey, would you like to know all my hot spots?
Right.
'Cause there's some hot spots I bet you don't know. You know, like, it's all in how you say what you say that can disarm him and make him go, "Ooh, tell me more," instead of make him feel, closed down and hurt and or get on the defense, start an argument. It's really
Mhm.
important what to say to your guy. I mean, I teach erotic massage and, but most I mean, I specialize in erotic massage, but what I'm really teaching is communication,
Mhm.
like how to connect in the bedroom. Yes, using your hands, but using your voice because you can do all these awesome techniques, and I have over 69 techniques to show you how to wow his genitals and, blow him away. But if you can't open up verbally in the bedroom, none of that stuff's gonna stick. You're not like, you can pleasure a guy and blow him away and make him see God, but girl gotta get some too.
Yes.
Like, it's great to
Yes.
be a good lover, but you've gotta teach your guy how to be a good lover for you, and the only way you can do that is by talking about it. Yeah.
And I think with communication, and you've said, in your post, because I follow you, of course, that communication is a skill, which I think your confidence comes once you learn, you know what I mean? Or yeah, confidence is a skill. So you can communicate better if you've got the confidence within yourself. And it's not even the confidence that you're
Well,
good at sex. It's confidence in your body, it's confidence in just other aspects.
that's a really good I'm glad you're bringing this up, Tracy, because, yes, confidence is key in order to be able to have
Yes.
those tough conversations in the bedroom. But if you're not confident, you can't just grab confidence. What I
Mhm.
find what really works is I help women be competent
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is I'll give them some skill, like I'll give them some to-dos, like, okay, here's some things to do on your guide. Like, screw the communication for now. Just do this, do this, do this. Super easy stuff to do just with your hands. And you do this and this and this. Look at his face, watch his face melt into the bed, listen
Mhm.
to him moan, watch him squirm. That makes you feel a little more confident in the bedroom because you've got a little bit of competency going on. And then with more confidence, you're willing to try new things, including communication, including other techniques. So what I do is I give women a really quick win in the bedroom to
Mhm.
show them, not show their guy. I mean, yeah, the guy's gonna know, but to show the woman, hey, I'm rocking it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm nailing this. Like, what? Look at that guy. I did that. I
Yeah.
did that. I'm a goddess in the bedroom. I'm Beyonce strutting onto her stage and
Yeah.
like when you feel like that,
Right.
everything changes. Confidence is sexy to your guy too. Like
Absolutely.
when you just like push him down on the bed and go, "Oh no, I got you. I got you."
I've
You
said
just
that,
say
I
that.
am not a tiny little person, you know what I mean? I'm a curvy girl, but you know what? I always figure if I'm getting in bed with someone, they already kind of know what they're gonna get, you know what I mean, with no clothes on. And it's like, I have always been just that's the one thing that the one place is just I'm just confident. You're going to see what you're going to see. You may see a fat roll if I lean this way, you may see this, but I've been told like you are so confident just being naked and I'm thinking that's the only place really that I've got that I've got the confidence. And men do like it. Men like the confidence.
Yeah. I'm glad you're bringing up body image because women really struggle with that. And when you have a body image that is not favorable, no matter
Mhm.
whether you're skinny or
That's right.
curvy, doesn't matter. A lot of women have a negative self body image. And when you're in that, like, you can't relax in the bedroom, you can't really let go, you can't surrender to the experience or the sensations, and you're distracted, so you're probably not having an orgasm either. Um,
Mhm.
so so it's really important for women to know that you don't have to look like a model for men to find you attractive. Like, when you take off your clothes, if you're just owning it, like, "Yeah, this is me, and watch me go," like, "Ooh, this is gonna
Yes.
be good," I they don't care. They
They
honestly
don't.
couldn't care less, and
They
in fact, a
don't.
lot of women prefer a curvier woman.
Right.
Like,
Right.
some men are just like that, they're digging that. Confidence or
Agreed.
not, they like a curvy woman. So,
Mhm.
just know that if you're attracting a guy and he's into you, he's not
Right.
blind. I mean,
Right.
unless he's blind, but, like,
Right.
he sees he sees you. He already knows what he's getting into. If you are
Right.
into him and you're treating him like the king that he is, if you are treating yourself like the queen that you are,
Right.
he's good. Like,
I
the
agree.
chemistry's off the charts. So, yeah, body image, we think we gotta be a certain way due to, media and all the things that are telling us that we have to look a certain way or we're not attractive, we're not desirable, we're not sexy. Like, you gotta throw all that out and just know that the guy who is looking for you wants
Mhm.
you to own your body because
It
he's
does make a
looking
huge
for
difference.
you.
Yeah, it makes a big difference because I know so many people who do, they just, "Oh my gosh, do I have is my cottage cheese showing if my legs are like that? Or are they looking at this if they're coming from behind me? Look at my belly hanging." No, no, they're not. Not
Hey,
stop thinking about that because you're focusing more on what I look like than what you're feeling. And it's a huge, huge part.
yeah. Yeah, they honestly, I've asked okay, so I worked with over 2,000 men. And I asked them lots of questions about women, about sex, about their marriages, about what they're satisfied with, what they're not satisfied with. And all of them, they're like, "What cottage cheese? What
Right.
like I don't see it." I would show them my wrinkly thighs and they're like, I don't get it. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Are you literally
Right.
blind? Like I can see it. Can you?" And they're like, I don't get what the big deal is. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah,
they literally don't care. And
I
if there's
know.
a guy who totally gets turned off by it, well, then
Yeah.
just, like, let that guy go. But the thing
They
is,
probably aren't good in bed either.
they're probably no. But, I mean, there are a lot of women that I work with who have been married for a long time. Their guys no longer or they think their guy's no longer attracted to them. But really, there's a breakdown in the chemistry, not just like there that may have a slight part to it if you've gained a whole bunch of weight since you got married years ago.
Sure.
But really, if you own the bedroom and you love yourself as you are, and
Mhm.
you're just like, like Madonna, like you just know you're the shit, you're the bomb, you're it, you're amazing. Those extra pounds just really kind of evaporate for a guy. It
Mhm.
really boils down to confidence. I thought about this one woman today, actually. She kind of just let herself go. They'd been married for years and years and years. And she started, and he actually told her, "I'm not attracted to you anymore." He actually said those words. Heartbreaking.
Yes.
But she signed up with my program. She's like, "Okay, I gotta work on stuff. We're not having sex." And I miss the connection. We're roommates right now. And
Mhm.
so she started wearing red lipstick. Like, if she was even at home, she would put on red lipstick, not for him, but for her. Because when
Mhm.
she put on that bright red lipstick, which is gorgeous on her, she felt sexier. She was
Sure.
doing it for her. Like it just kind of felt like, ooh, I feel a little Marilyn Monroe-ish,
Yeah.
And it changed how she was. She was more flirty. She was giddy again. Like it told just the red lipstick.
Yes.
And of course, I was teaching her in the bedroom a little bit of competency, and so her confidence went way up. And they're having better sex than they did when they were teenagers. So you really got to take care of yourself
Mhm.
in order to project that that desirable version of yourself. That
Mhm.
that just like it's magic. We can evoke the heart emojis in the guy's eyes. Like that doesn't
Yes.
just come from just like a 2D version of this is what I look like. It's who you are, like what
Mhm.
you're exuding, the vibes that you're giving off that make him look at you with the heart emojis
Mhm.
and desire you. And it has nothing to do with your body shape or size.
No. I mean, back I many, many years ago, I used to be into bodybuilding, and I was in such great shape, but I didn't have the self-confidence that I do now, and I definitely am not into bodybuilding anymore. And so it's amazing the difference that it makes if women only realized it. And I say fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? Because you can if you keep telling yourself this, you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? So if you don't feel it, you gotta express it to yourself. I'll be damned. I look damn good naked. And you may not believe it, but just keep saying it until you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I take women through different meditations, different exercises. Like I get them to imagine rubbing a lotion, like a really beautiful, silky, smells delicious lotion all over their bodies. Either physically do it or just, a visualization of rubbing that lotion over their entire body, all the curves, all the crevices, everything, to just love on themselves and understand that they are beautiful and they are worthy of self-care, of self-love. And um, it's amazing how just a little bit of self-care changes your entire um, perspective
Sure.
on your relationships with yourself and others,
Mhm.
as well as how people see you. Like
Mhm.
you change literally in front of people's eyes when you start taking on self-care. It really is so important. Plus, I mean, we don't even need to touch on depression or, all the mental health, just the mental health aspect of it. If you're totally depressed, your relationship is going downhill too
Right.
because you're dragging your partner down with you,
For
right?
sure. Sure.
So yeah, self-care is so important on many, many levels.
So
Yeah.
you said you talked to over, well, I'm sure more than that, but over 2,000 men and asked them what they want. What is the one thing or maybe even not even one thing, a couple things that women aren't doing that they wish they did or are doing and stop doing it? Like, I don't want the DJ. What's something
Right.
that they talked about?
Yeah. Uh, so the first thing I'll say is men wish that we would touch it like we like it. Like if we could touch his privates like we want to touch them,
Yes. Not like
you
it's a
have
chore.
no idea how important that is for a guy. Like men identify with their genitals so much. Like we call that their manhood, We don't call
Yes.
the vagina a
Or
womanhood.
womanhood.
It like we don't, we don't lead with our vagina. Men lead with their privates. Like so it's really important that you touch it for one thing, like not just with your vagina, but with your
Right.
hands, like you wanna.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep your hands off of his penis, his scrotum, whatever down there, like all the things. That is huge for men, and women don't get it because we don't have the same thing. It's like, "Oh, I'm waiting for him to touch my vagina." It's not the same. It's not the same for women. And, like, even if you're just sitting there watching Netflix next to him on the couch and you just rest your hand on his crotch,
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is just my soft, warm, happy place."
That's mine.
You
Yeah.
you just melted him.
Mhm.
You know? Like, even if it's not leading to sex, you're just like, "No, I don't wanna have sex, I just wanna I wanna watch this movie, I wanna rest my hand here, is that okay?" Like, he's
Right.
like, "Yeah, yeah."
Right. Yes.
So they want us to touch it like we like it. Most of us don't know how to touch a penis. Most of us think of a hand job as, you know,
Yes.
the
And
the
most
male
don't like
version
it
of the DJ.
fast and yes,
Fast and
exactly. That's
furious,
their
up and
version.
down, right? Yeah, and so and that's not fun for us either. It's sort of
No.
like, it's a means to an end. We're just trying to get him hard, we're just trying to give him an orgasm, whatever it is, like, get it over with. "Okay, my hand's getting sore, da, na, na." That is not what I teach. In fact, I tell women, "Do not do that." Men don't actually like it as much as you think they do anyway. So
Right.
everything I do is very slow and sensual. It doesn't feel like a hand job. In fact, one of my earlier clients, when I first started doing in-person workshops, she called me later and she said, "Lee, I need you to stop calling what you do a hand job because it doesn't feel like a hand job." Because whenever we think of hand job, we think of Up and Down, Fast and
Yep.
Furious. And she's like, That's not at all what you teach. It's connection, it's sensual, it's yummy, it's like it's so enjoyable
Enjoyable, not a
for
job.
the woman to do,
Right.
just for the
Right.
man to receive, but for the woman to do. And so um we need to we need to learn how to touch a man's privates in a way that we enjoy it. Otherwise, we're not going to want to do it.
Mhm.
And it'll
Yes.
feel awkward and it'll feel weird. And most women have kind of like an ew response to touching the penis initially. Um, and I totally get it. I used to be like that too. But when you know how to touch it, in a way that sparks curiosity, sparks interest, like, "Ooh, oh, wow, that actually feels really good in my hand." Like, this part of your penis feels different than that skin of your penis. Like, it sparks a curiosity, and when you're curious and you're fascinated, okay, now you're enjoying yourself.
Right.
And so that's how I encourage women to touch the penis is in a way that feels good for us to do. Um,
Mhm.
Another thing that men really wish that we knew is when he can't get it up, it's not really about you. Like, it's not an insult to you. It's not that you don't turn him on, not at all. Like, we got to let that go. That's not about us. It's about him. Um, Erectile dysfunction can affect men in a lot of different ways. Like it can come from stress, it can come from medication, surgery. A lot of different things cause erection issues. But what we need to understand is that when men can't perform sexually like they're used to, they can't get an erection, that's like giving their ego a black eye. Like, their
Right.
heart is hurting. As a man, I mentioned this before, they identify so much with their genitals. So if they can't their genitals aren't working the way they want it to, especially in an intimate situation where they're expected to perform in a certain way, then Oh man, like you have no idea how much that beats down a guy. So instead of like, hey, take this pill, you got to fix that shit. Pardon my language.
Right. Oh,
You
no, please.
um instead of putting it on the guy to fix his ED, because what do we do? Like what
Right.
that's that's out of our hands, we think. Actually, we
Okay.
have total control over that situation. So I have
Really?
helped so many women do what I tell them to do, like zhuzh up their bedroom a little bit, introduce some communication to deepen some intimacy, to get real, to work out some, some issues that are happening, to really understand your guy. Um, Teach them some techniques that will work on a flaccid penis, by the way. Like
Yeah,
I have,
because I just saw some of your stuff about that, and I thought because I have a friend who's going through this situation, and I sent it to her, and so I'm very interested in this.
yeah. So we think that if he can't get it up, well, what do we do with it? Right? Like,
Right.
well, I don't know what to do with it. There's so many things you could do with a flaccid penis. And the nerve endings in the penis that, make touching a penis very enjoyable, the thousands of nerve endings down there, they don't go away. They don't go to sleep when he's soft. Like they're still alive and well. So if you can touch a soft penis in all these different ways, he's loving it, even if it doesn't fix his ED. Like there are a lot of men, if it's a lot of ED issues are up here, are up in their heads.
Okay.
Not that they're imagining it, it's real,
Sure.
but there's no medical reason, like they didn't have surgery where a nerve ending, a nerve was snipped and there's just no way they're going to get an erection or whatever, like
Right.
y- in many cases a man can get his erection back depending on what a woman is doing. If she's like, well, I guess we're not having sex tonight, that is not fixing the problem.
Right.
So we've got to learn how to connect in the bedroom, be intimate, be sexual, be close, um, whether the penis is soft or not. There's so much that you can do with it, even though it's soft. And there's so much that he can do for you sexually that doesn't have anything to do with his penis,
So
right?
you're saying that he can still enjoy it, but he's not, I mean, and all the nerve endings, and you
Oh,
could do
yeah.
all of these things, but he's still thoroughly enjoying it, but he
His,
still could never get hard from doing that. He could still never have an erection from, or are you
maybe.
saying he still could?
Yeah, he could get his erection back. Like I've
Okay.
had, yeah, so I'm thinking of this one couple specifically. He had issues for, I don't know, 10 months, something where could not get it up no matter what she did.
Yeah.
She loves sex and she was getting super frustrated. That's why they went to my
Sure.
workshop. It was like
Sure.
a weekend couples retreat thing.
Oh,
And so she on the first day of the retreat, I gave them some things to do, like, okay, here's your homework tonight. Here's what you're going to do in the bedroom. And he got an erection for the first time in all that time. And like they had tried, they're both counselors. So like they had tried lots of things. They had talked, like major communication. Um, yeah, they tried so many things. And she didn't want him to rely on the Cialis or whatever they were taking, like little blue pill, because that is also mood altering. It has some serious side effects sometimes.
yes, I've heard
And
that.
and she's like, "Yeah, I had an ex who did that, didn't like it. No, no, I don't want you on that." So they got desperate and they turned to me. And yeah, she said, "Yeah, since that first day of the retreat, no more erection issues and it's never been a problem again. Like rock hard whenever she wants it to be." But here's the caveat. Sometimes no matter what you do, just medically speaking, he's not going to
Yes.
get his erection back. Those are the women I'm most interested in talking to because
Okay.
if no matter what you do, he's not going to get an erection. Usually that means, okay, our sex life is dead and gone, never to be resurrected again.
Hmm.
There's so much that you can do that with a soft penis to make him feel good. There's so many things he can do to you. Like there's so much more intimacy and pleasure to be had. In fact, I would say the softer your guy's penis is, the better sex life you're gonna have. Hear me out. When he can't get it up, you are forced to try other things.
Things.
So putting a penis in a vagina is not an option anymore, and most people are only having PNV sex, intercourse.
True,
That's it.
true.
And
Yeah.
if that's the only kind of sex that you're having, that's gonna get boring after a while. Like, it's just like, "Oh, same old, same old." So,
Mhm.
when he can't get it up and you can't have penetration, you're forced to try other things, which expands your sexual repertoire, which expand like, you have to have communication in order to say, "Hey, let's try this. Okay, let's give this a go. Actually, that's not working for me. Let's try this." Like, so everything gets a little bit better when he can't get it up. 'Cause you have to try other things,
Try something else.
which increases the variety in the bedroom and increases the intimacy because just plain old intercourse, penetration does not mean that you're actually having a lot of intimacy. Like, you're having
It
sex, but
yes.
it's rote, it's boring. You can be bumping your bodies together and it be not intimate at all. No actual emotional connection is happening.
Right.
So so couples are forced to find other ways to connect physically and emotionally in the bedroom when he can't get it up. I love it. Every
Now
time
can
I hear somebody say, "No, we're having erection issues. I
yes.
don't know what to do." I'm like, "Challenge accepted."
Yeah.
Love it. Come on, you're in the right place. This is awesome.
Now
Yeah.
can they orgasm?
Yes. Yes. Men
Okay.
can have an orgasm even though he is completely soft. Yes.
That is
Because
fascinating to
those
me.
those, those nerve endings don't go away. They're still there. It still feels good to them. I mean,
Does it
it's
take
gonna take
longer?
what's that?
Does it take longer?
Uh,
'Cause I could see where people if there's no communication, I could see where people would be like, "Oh, what is
yeah.
this?"
I mean, sometimes it can take long, but the length of time it takes to get to an orgasm is all up here.
Right.
It's all like sex starts in the brain. So a man will have a lot of hangups about his flaccid penis. And if
Sure.
you are, doing you're like maybe you're above him looking down at at his soft penis, touching
Mhm.
it with your hands, doing all the things that Lee Jagger tells you to do, all these techniques, you're shining a spotlight on the fact that he's got a soft penis and he's very aware of that. And so
Right.
he's up in his head with a little performance anxiety going,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, like, it's still not getting hard and she's doing all this stuff and I just can't," like their mind is going a million miles an hour. So when they're distracted like that, it's going to be harder to have an orgasm. It's got nothing to do with the fact that their penis is flaccid. It's what's going on in their brain while she's touching his flaccid penis. So
So
that's
much
the
so.
first thing that I teach women to do is let him off the hook to perform. Like, just take away that performance anxiety from the get-go. Let him know that you're gonna play with his private parts and the rest of his body, and
Mhm.
he does not need to have an orgasm. Like, let's just table the orgasm for a second. Because really, when you have an orgasm, that's kind of the end of the line. Like, okay, we're done. All right, let's get on with our day or let's go to sleep or what, like it's sort of the end of the love-making session when an orgasm is had. So I just want to play for a little while. Like, I just want to touch your body. I want to connect with you. I want to make you feel like the king that you are. And y- it doesn't matter. In fact, don't please try not to have an orgasm because When you have an orgasm, you're gonna be done, and I may not be done yet. So, please don't have one because I just wanna play around here, or I wanna practice some. Lee came out with a couple new techniques this month, so I wanna practice them. I'd really love for you not to have an orgasm so that I can just practice on you for as long as I want. Like,
People would say that would be is more sensual than sexual.
yes, yes, it's I equate it to just a different level of care.
Okay.
Like, you're loving on your guy in a very sensual, sexual way, but it's not a sprint to a finish line.
Mhm.
It's got nothing to do with orgasm, although the more you let him off the hook to perform or to reach an orgasm, the more likely he will have an orgasm.
Mhm. Right.
Um,
Of
right? So
course.
so
Yeah.
the more you let your guy off the hook to perform in any way, even even if he can get an orgasm, have an orgasm, no problem. He has no problems with erections. Like, even if your guy is fully 100% functional and has never had an issue that in that area, still letting him off the hook. I've had so many women say, "Okay, I thought you were full of crap, but I said the words anyway that you told us to say on the coaching call. I said the words, I let him off the hook, knowing it didn't apply to him at all. And then later he told me, "Oh my God, what a relief. I've never felt so unconditionally loved in my life. Thank you for saying those words." Like, it's a different level of care that you're bringing to your relationship when you um are not putting your guy on the spot to perform in a certain way, and you're loving on his body regardless of the state of erection or not. It's
Yeah,
just a
that
level of care, and that up levels the
is
rest of your relationship, like outside of the bedroom too.
yeah. I mean, it kinda goes back with the women being confident in their body, like, they can relax and enjoy it, and for men, it's a mental thing where, okay, they're okay with it. They're okay if I'm not hard or if I'm not gonna be able to have an orgasm. Whew, let me enjoy it.
The the, uh, the level of liberation and
Mhm.
relaxation and just, like, letting go, and it's you just ca I can't even put words to it. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. You can't fully appreciate it until you witness that happen in the bedroom,
sure.
and the ripple effects, like, all of a sudden, like, this one lady, she said to me, after she gave her guy an erotic massage for the first time, she said the next day, he said, "Okay, honey," slap down like a pad of paper and a pen on the counter, "make me a honey-do list. Like, all the things you've been bugging me about that I haven't done yet, write it all down. I'm getting it done." Like
Yeah,
like, they just wanna reciprocate in all sorts of ways.
right, right.
Another woman, she said, "Yeah, he wanted to give me a massage and cook me dinner. He never does any of those things.
Sure.
He did the dishes afterwards. He never does that." Like, men are just like, "How do I keep my woman happy? Because I wanna get back to that sweet spot again.
Yeah, I want her to do that to me again.
I want that again, because that was the like, to be able to touch a man, especially in his 40s, 50s, 60s, when he's had sex so many times in his life, to be able
Mhm.
to touch a man sexually in ways he's never, ever felt, as in you're delivering bodily sensations for him that he's never experienced before.
Right.
Like, you're the holy grail
Right.
now.
They're gonna move mountains.
He will one guy said to me, he said, um, when I told him I was gonna start teaching women this stuff that I was doing for the guys in my office, um, like, teach women how to do this for their guys at home. He said, "Oh my god, Lee, if women did this for their guys at home, he would swim oceans for them."
Right. Right.
Ocean. Like, he was just like, "Lucky guys."
Yeah.
Lucky, lucky guys. And when a man is treated with this much adoration and appreciation and love, he really will do anything for you. Like,
Mhm.
he won't wanna let you go. Do not do this on a guy you wanna break up with. He
Sure.
will he will not let you go. Like like, that would be cruel and unusual punishment to do this on a guy you're gonna break up with, 'cause you just ruined him for all other women.
What about, toys? Do you recommend toys in the bedroom or no?
Um, yeah, I mean, I either way, I mean, you've got 10 toys right here on your fingers, right?
Right.
Th But I think anything that you introduce into the bedroom that brings more pleasure, that
Mhm.
brings more, experimenting, more creativity, the better.
Right.
And it's really difficult for a lot of women to ask to bring a toy into the bedroom because she's thinking, rightly so, that a guy is going to interpret that as, "Oh, so I'm not good enough? You need
Absolutely.
you you need help because I'm not doing it for you?"
Right.
And again, being able to broach that subject and have that conversation with a guy using words that make him go, "Oh, yeah, let's do that." Make it his benefit that he say, "Yeah, I'm on board."
Right.
That's crucial to learn the words to say and how to say, like, how to structure that conversation in a way that he does not take offense. He's actually eager and enthusiastic about the idea. That it's such a hard conversation to have, and a lot of men's feelings have gotten hurt. So,
Right.
it's an important conversation, um, and I think it should be a conversation before you bring the toy into the bedroom,
Right.
so
Right.
that you're not having to backpedal when his feelings get hurt. You get out in front of it and have the conversation about the possibility of bringing in a toy, um,
Okay.
before you actually do it.
Right.
That's really important. Yeah.
Last little question here, because I could talk I literally c think of a million as you're talking, I
Right.
think of so many things that I wanna talk to you about, but
We gotta
but
do
I
a
know
part 2 sometime.
eventually we have to wrap it up, I know. So let's talk specifically to women who are in have been in long-term relationships. They consider sex to be a chore because just like you said, the sex of just the sex, you get you've been with the same man for however many years, you just don't want to do that anymore. So what advice could you give to women that could help them change their mindset to where it's not a chore and they start enjoying it again?
Great question. Because yeah, most most women in long-term relationships are feeling that.
Yes.
Guys
Yeah,
too. Um, it gets to the point where, like, you just know where he's gonna put his hand next. You know what he's gonna do next. You know, you just it's like, "Oh my gosh, it's a
yes,
script we're just repeating over and over every time." And that slowly erodes the intimacy, and you
sure.
eventually become roommates, right? Or resentful that
Mhm.
the other person isn't, spicing things up. And often we're like, "Oh, like, we don't know how to enjoy sex because we're doing all that we know how to do." And, like, they're having sex that they're not enjoying because it's rote and it's no longer really enjoyable, but they don't have an alternative. They don't know what to suggest. They don't know how to spice things up. They don't know what is possible out there.
Sure. Sure.
So, I mean, you have to spice it up. It's like you wouldn't eat the same meal every day. You introduce different like you wouldn't sushi's delicious. But if you had the same California roll every single day of your life, good God, that would get boring, right? So, you've got to introduce new things. We wear different clothes every day. We drive different cars. We have different hobbies. We introduce variety in all other parts of our lives.
Yes.
except in the bedroom often. And if
Yes.
you're not enjoying sex, that's the
Mhm.
reason why. Well, there's not enough variety, and you don't know how to ask for what you really want, and you don't even know often what you would
Not.
like to do instead. All you know is like so many women, they're with the guy who they lost their virginity to. So this is the
Mm.
only
I
sex
know.
they've ever had.
And
So
I
this
feel
is
so
so
bad for those people.
right? Like shop around, girl, before
Yes.
you settle. Yeah. So, but or they've had several partners and it's just, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And it basically the guy's just masturbating inside of her and that's it.
Yes.
So they've probably had really bad sex, but
Mhm.
that's all they know sex to be. They don't know it can be enjoyable. All they know is that sex equals ugh.
Mhm.
So I'm here to let women know that there is a way to have really deep, satisfying sex and intimacy. I'm using those separately because they are separate. Together, it's amazing.
Yes. Right.
Um, they can have really amazing sex and intimacy, even if they have never been taught otherwise. Like, all you need to what I will say is, ladies, don't wait for your guy to make it enjoyable. He's only doing what he knows to do as well.
Mm.
Like I tell women, don't ask him how he wants you to touch his penis. All he knows is this, up and down, like because that's what he does for himself. But you can touch his privates in ways that he can't even physically touch himself because he can't get at himself from those angles that you can.
Sure. Sure. No, that makes sense.
And so and I will say to women, when you go first, you win.
Mhm.
So you may not enjoy having sex, but if you don't want to break up with your guy, if you want to keep your marriage together, if you want to get
Yeah.
some type of enjoyment out of sex, you're just not sure how,
Yes.
you go first, girl, because when you go first, you have all the power. You're calling all the shots. And that's what I teach women is how to go first. Like, okay, if you do this technique just tonight, do this technique. Just the one thing, that's it. Doesn't have to lead to sex. And I teach women how to set the stage so that they determine what their intention is going into the bedroom. Maybe it doesn't end in intercourse. Maybe it doesn't end in anybody having an orgasm. It's just a way to physically connect on an intimate level with your guy and to kind of disconnect erection, orgasm, intercourse, all that from touching his body. I just want to touch you. It's like a lot of women, they won't even touch or kiss their guy anymore because they know if I kiss him, he's going to assume sex needs to follow.
Right.
So to separate that I'm going to touch your body from, okay, we have to have full-blown intercourse and then the pressure to have an orgasm, god, I have to fake it again tonight, like all the things,
Yes.
to
Yes.
disconnect those two and to put the woman in charge of dictating how things are going to go.
Mhm.
Trust me, the guy's going to like everything you're going to do. But for you to have a voice in the bedroom to go, okay, we're going to try something new. I'm going to do some stuff on you, which seems like it's a one-way street. Like she's just giving, giving, giving the pleasure. But honestly, when she learns how to give pleasure and ask him certain questions to make it even better for him, she's training him on how to ask her questions to make it just right for her in a ninja kind of way that he doesn't even know he's going to school. Right.
Right. So
But
brilliant.
yeah,
Yes.
he's just learning through immersion. Like
Yeah.
you go to Japan and you just end up learning how to speak Japanese after 3 months. You didn't go to school to learn Japanese, but it's all around you. So it seeps in.
Right.
And so the same thing, when you take control in the bedroom, the only way to have a great sex life is to take control. The only way to have a great sex life is learn how to take control in the bedroom. And most women have given away their power. That's
Mhm.
why they're having obligatory sex because they're
Mhm.
going along with whatever the guy's wanting to do. So put the power back on the women, woo, girl power,
Yes,
and
yes.
then everything changes in the bedroom. And I'm telling you, ladies, when you step into your power in the bedroom, that is so sexy to a guy. Don't think that
Agreed.
it's like, like power, this masculine power. You can be very powerful and very feminine and soft and have the guy just like licking your fingers, like just eating out of the palm of your hand everything that you're doing, and you are fully 100% in control.
Absolutely. You're really never in more control than when you have their life in your hands.
Oh my gosh. Like, guys just want you to touch it,
Yes.
like you like it.
Act
And
like you
so
like it.
if you know all the ways to touch his penis, trust me, you're gonna like it. And it
Yes.
puts you in the power position.
Mhm.
He's happy, he's totally satisfied, he's going to see God, and you are getting your power back in the bedroom so that
Yes.
then, there's reciprocation happening, and then you can have the best sex of your life.
Where can women find you?
If they go to rockthebedroom.com, that's my website, they can get a free technique,
Okay.
to just try it out. Super simple. You're gonna look at it and go, "Oh, man, this is gonna do nothing." Trust me, he's gonna totally squirm. Plus, it gives you that little bit of confidence when you try something out and it works. And you can find me on all the social media, Rock the Bedroom.
It's
It's so
amazing.
fun.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this. It's probably my favorite that I've done so far. It's so great. I am so excited for everyone to listen and to hopefully come visit you and on your page and take some of these techniques and some of your trainings.
Yeah, because it's so much more than sex. This is
Right.
about women stepping into empowerment. Like enough with being suppressed. We've had too many eons of that. This
Hmm.
is this is the time when we're coming out, like feminism and all the things, like we're coming out, stepping out into our power. And this is the first time ever in history that we've been able to do this. So this is more than just, you know, hand job techniques. This is
Yes.
about you having an amazing relationship where are you're on the same level as your guy. Like you're amazing, he's amazing, you're amazing together, you treat each other with mutual respect. That's really
Mhm.
what we're doing here. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation. Thank you for being open
Me
to it,
too.
Tracy. This has been so fun.
Absolutely. So for our listeners today, I was wondering if there was any type of classes or discounts you could give anybody who's listening.
Yeah, I would be happy to. So if you don't know me and you just want to dip your toes in because you're not too sure what this stuff's all about, or if it's, you wanna check out to see if it's raunchy or whatever, like, the stuff I do is not porn-like, it's very educational, it's not like entertainment. So, yeah, I'll give you a little discount to try it out. I have a membership, it's a monthly membership, and, it's called Spice It Up. And
Okay.
when you, at checkout, if you put in the coupon code Tracy10, Tracey 10, then you'll get 10% off your first month just to try it out.
I
Yeah,
certainly hope people take you up on it because women, we need the voice, and the voice starts within you. So
yeah,
just giving them a little help to get started, I
of
think is
course.
really what a lot of people just need.
Yeah, 100%. And the membership or the website to check out what the membership's all about is at rockthebedroom.com/membership.
Thank you for joining me. As always, do better, expect better, and be better. And remember to always laugh through it all. Don't forget to check out my Shopify page where you can pick up some Do Better merchandise. There'll be a link in the description. If you'd like to contact Lee or ask her about any of her trainings, she can be found on all social media platforms at Rock the Bedroom, but I will also list them in the description.